Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you've heard. Today, my name is Andy.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Ash.
Whoa, fast on the draw. Well done.
I just wanted to take care of any lag.
Right?
Give me your best skibbity toilet, Amanda. Go.
I don't even know what Skibbity Toilet sounds like. I just know my nephews talk about it all the time.
What about you, Ash? Give me your best skibbity toilet.
What? I don't know what Skibbity Toilet does. I've
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah, it's a head in a toilet.
Andy asked me before the podcast. He's like, "Do you think we were the best generation?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Define best."
Yeah.
I really do feel like anybody that was born like 82 to like 89 is incredible.
So like millennials.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
because we didn't grow up with computers or cell phones or anything.
Yeah.
And so we had like real shared experiences. And then by the time that we started maturing, now all these devices are coming out. And so it's like we made most of our stupid decisions before like the entire group of people could talk about it.
Yeah, Amanda's got a point. Like we were the last generation that truly went outside and experienced the internet at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I agree. That's what
Yeah.
makes us the best.
So you know how the greatest generation is like considered like 1911 to like 1923 or something like that.
According to who?
I don't know. That's just what they're called. That's what their name is. They're called the greatest generation.
They picked that.
If you call yourself that, it doesn't count.
I think we're the greatest generation. I don't know. I mean, we got trauma too, but I think Ash, you said it best. Our pop culture basically blows out any trauma that we had. It trumps it. So, what's going on today?
Hit that button, Andy.
Okay.
When life gives you lemons, just make lemonade. Sometimes you need some news that's good. Good for you, good for me, good for everyone. Enjoy with us today some good news.
Free hand motions.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Do you have good news today?
Okay, here's the thing. When Andy so diligently concocted this segment,
Yes.
the whole purpose was to tell the world when good things happened
Yeah.
in our lives.
Yeah.
And so far, we've not had any of that.
No. Why is that?
Correct.
Why is that?
So this has been a tough segment to, put together.
So you're coming with something rare today.
So I feel like I had to bring it up because there was something that happened that made me feel good in the moment.
Oh.
And I already told Andy about it. I told him right after it happened because I'm like, this happened. And so some people might not understand, but here's what happened. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm at my daughter's gymnastics. Okay. And this gymnastics place, they recently took over another gymnastics business. So they have this huge influx of new kids coming in for classes. So they've struggled with figuring out how to seat these people. And they had one row of chairs, and then if you didn't fit there, you had to wait in the lobby and watch on a television monitor.
A CCTV screen.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure it out, and they put bleachers in the gym so that more parents could come in and watch their kids. So this is the first time that they've had the bleachers that I went in, and Remy was sitting next to me, and these bleachers are rickety. Okay. We're in it's only 2 levels, and we're on the top level, and you can just feel it wiggling back and forth as people move their butts.
Nope.
And I was like, oh, well, this is going well. So Remy's sitting next to me, and he brought his Switch so that he could be entertained while I watched Cam. And I don't know what he did or what happened because I was watching Cam, but somehow he ended up falling off his seat, dropped the switch, knocked over the lady in front of me. She had a Stanley cup. He knocked it over, and it was like a big one. And her water spilled everywhere. And so she jumps up. I grab his switch, because obviously that's the most important thing, and put it back in my purse. And then I'm like consoling him, and I'm like, are you okay? Because he just fell on these like rickety ass metal bleachers. Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm starting to feel bad. And I'm like, Remy, like I want you to be okay, but we need to go to the front and get like a sign or paper towels or something, because there's all this water all over the place now. And it's slippery because it's like concrete floors. And they ended up the front desk saw it on the camera and ended up bringing some paper towels out. And the lady whose water spilled, she was cleaning. And then there was a lady sitting next to her that also got up and was cleaning up the water. And now it's at a point where I'm like, I can't help, because then I'm just in the way.
Yeah, then you're doing that like, oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
Right, and so I'm just like consoling Remy, making sure he's okay. He had scratched his arm, and eventually when like there was more space for me to like assist, I grabbed some paper towels, and water had spilled on her daughter's shoes, and I was like cleaning them up and stuff. And I think after this all happened, she kind of just went away, and the other lady that was helping, she just sat back down with her kids. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I feel so rotten, because I don't felt like I helped, and I feel like I'm appearing to be like this like snob who's just like, oh, like that's your water, you deal with it. And so I'm sitting there just feeling really like concerned about how I looked in that scenario. And the lady who had jumped up to help that was sitting next to me, she turns to me and she goes, I just want to say to you, I really admire the way that you handled that. She said, my mom would have been more concerned about the embarrassment of the water spilling than the safety of her child who just fell. She's like, the fact that you went to your kid first and made sure he was okay instead of worrying about the water. She's like, that's rare. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, right? This lady must be an empath or something. Like, she must have known that I was sitting there like, oh God, I looked so bad.
Stressed
and I'm just like,
out.
That freaking made my day. Like,
you know what that was?
What?
When life gives you lemons,
I'm just kidding.
Honestly, it's so nice. Like if a family member or like a friend compliments like your parenting, it does feel good. It feels good. But like when a totally random stranger, like, you're doing a great job, or like,
yeah.
I
when
really
you think you're doing a rotten job,
yeah.
you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know, but I needed that.
You told that story really well that it didn't sound like good news was happening.
Oh yeah. But I just wanted to point out that like there are nice people in the world, which sometimes we don't feel like there are. But also it made me think about, why is it so difficult sometimes for people to give other people compliments?
We talked about this on the Man episode.
Did we?
Well,
yeah.
That I can't be like, I like your boots.
But I feel like if a dad had the same scenario happened, and it was a dad who turned to you, who helped clean up and was like, hey, I really admire how you handled that. In all fairness, I feel like I would be like, what do you fucking say to me about my parenting?
Do you even have kids?
Like I'd be like, point out your child.
Yeah, which
like,
one's
sir,
yours?
You need to go.
Which one's yours, high horse man?
Yeah.
Either that or he's hitting on you. You're like just waiting for him to ask for my number.
The moral of the story is,
it's a man problem.
If you see something, say something.
Even if it's positive. All right.
Even if it's positive.
Well done. Well done. Good job, Ash.
Damn.
Movies. Yes.
God, it gets me jacked every time.
Whoa, that
I get
me.
So jacked. Welcome to Movies. This is our most anticipated movies currently. And you said that you had one that was on the tip of your tongue.
Okay.
You?
Well, there's a few that I have in the notes here. They're not necessarily ones that I'm looking forward to. But I feel like a couple of these at least were trailers during the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
they're ones that, Andy, I felt like they piqued your interest. So
actually, I know where you're going with this.
So
I know where you're going with this.
These are movies that you anticipate.
Right, that I forgot about already.
So the first one is Thunderbolts.
Yes, it is essentially, at least from the trailer, it looks like Suicide Squad, but Marvel characters. Like, that's the way it looks like it's going, is all the underdogs and lowlifes of the Marvel universe, and they're all coming together. Hopefully not to take out a beam in the sky, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It looks good. I like all those characters.
Yeah.
And I don't think the trailer gave you enough, but David Harbour.
You always do that.
I know. As the Guardian and getting Black Widow back with Florence Pugh. I'm down for it. I'm down for it, and it looked good, and I think I'm okay. I'm just concerned because Captain America didn't get good reviews. I don't know what's going to happen with the Marvel Universe. I'm a little concerned.
Amanda, have you seen the trailer?
Yes, I have. I think it looks interesting. I liked the Black Widow movie, but only because I enjoyed David Harbour and Florence Pugh together.
So you guys think that Scarlett Johansson being out of the picture is not going to harm the feeling?
Well, I think if they were trying to still be the Black Widow Scarlett Johansson character, I think it would be hard. But they're anti-heroes.
Yeah.
So
yes.
You know, it's similar but different. I don't really know how well everyone else is going to play with everything.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, if they are smart, they'll have those two sort of be the main comedic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's funny because we were at the movie theater recently, and they have a huge poster for Thunderbolts, and it looks like a Wheaties box. And I said to Chris, I was like, is it supposed to look like a box of Wheaties? Like, because it's just like kind of like a red orange at the top of it, and it has just like block letters that say Thunderbolt, but nothing else is like cereal box. And I was like, is this supposed to look like a box of cereal, or is it just me?
It would be kind of a cool play on that.
I know that Zemo's back. I know that U.S. Agent, who is like the bad Captain America.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting to kind of see all of that. At this point, I will say, though, is an audience going to be confused? They're like, how many Captain Americas do we need? Like,
yeah, I think they are going to be confused. And isn't the Winter Soldier in the Thunderbolts?
Winter Soldier is, and so is the character Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp 2.
Yes. Well, and I think people are going to be confused because they're going to be like, wait, Winter Soldier was a good guy, but now he's a bad guy again? Like,
yeah. I don't get where they're going to go with it. I love all the characters. I don't know. We'll see. They obviously effed Suicide Squad up the very first time that they did it, then made it better. So maybe Marvel's learned from this ensemble, like, mishapped character situation.
I think it's going to bust.
Maybe. When does it release? May?
Oh.
Is that when it comes out?
May 2nd.
Yeah, May 2nd. Okay. So it's literally, I think it's the next movie after Captain America.
I think it's hard because, like, some of these characters, because I'm looking at one of the movie posters now, like, some of the characters you're like, oh, yeah, you know them well enough to see them in a movie. But, like, for Ghost, like, if you didn't happen to catch the second Ant-Man movie,
you have no idea.
But it's also like, if you watched Ant-Man and then remembered who this lady was 10 years later, congratulations.
Yeah, you're right. That could be I don't know who anybody is unless they play off each other well.
Yeah, that's why I think it'll bust, is because I don't think it'll be grabbing enough. It's not like mainstream enough, all the characters, for people to be like, oh yeah, I would love to see that character in a movie.
Is it rated R?
I don't know. I doubt it.
If it's rated R, it could be a banger because they did it with Wolverine Deadpool. Then it could be fun. But if the writing has to be held back a little bit to hit a PG-13 rating, you could be in trouble. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think we know yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't tell yet.
You had another one.
So the next one, speaking of Scarlett Johansson, was Jurassic Park
Yes.
or Jurassic World. Is it called Jurassic Park?
It's called
Jurassic World Rebirth.
Jurassic World
World.
Rebirth. I am here for it. I skipped the Chris Pratt except for the very first one that he did, that whole series. I didn't watch much of that, and I know that there's actually a meme where a girl's like, here's my impression of Chris Pratt in all the Jurassic Worlds, and she just goes like this.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And then she just goes,
Nobody can
he's just
see
trying
you,
to stop
Andy.
raptors all the time. I know, it's funny. Get a picture
He's
of me.
using the Force.
Get a picture of me
Yes.
to put on the Instagram.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, Chris Pratt just puts his hands up and he's able to control raptors. That was like the entire trilogy. But the new one, I am all for mutated, defunct dinosaurs that didn't work in the lab when they first created Jurassic Park. That sounds rad. This is like Dino Crisis the movie, which you didn't have with the Jurassic World as much. Yes, there was like the hybrid one in the beginning, but like this storyline of having mutated dinosaurs, so it's basically Monster Island, it seems pretty good. It looks good. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
For me, Scarlett Johansson's very hit and miss. So I hope I like her because Chris Pratt was the opposite. Where like I liked him, but then I hated him in Jurassic World. And in this one, her co-part,
Sure. Yeah.
sure, is Jonathan Bailey, who I don't think you know, but he's from Bridgerton.
Okay. What's his face? Show me a face.
Okay, here's his face.
Show me his face.
But he was also in Wicked.
He looks like a smooth sassafras.
So I think that they're popular enough to get attention.
Okay.
Amanda, what say you?
I mean, Amanda's
Miss
the Jurassic Park
Fanatic.
queen, so
Okay, so sorry if you can hear a dog barking in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's
rude.
hot in the room I'm in. So I think that it looks interesting. I wish it almost was like its own. Like I wish it was just called like Dino Island.
yeah,
Like,
I can
I-
see that. Yeah.
However, I think the idea of these like mutated dinosaurs, like okay, I can get on board with that because it's like either like they could play up like that the embryos mutated like
Yeah.
when they were growing, or they could say that they were trying to make different variants of all the dinosaurs and they just got dumped on this island. And it almost kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park 2,
Oh, yeah.
where it's like Jeff Goldblum and stuff, and it's like they're going to this other island where these dinosaurs are, and like you're not supposed to be there. And like, so I don't know. I have a feeling that this is just gonna sort of be like the Chat GPT version of like make me a new Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll definitely go see it. Like, 'cause I love dinosaur movies, so I'll go see it for sure. But I have a feeling it's going to be real bad.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Only because I shit on the Chris Pratt ones. I want to give it its go.
I feel like at least dinosaur graphics can only get better, right?
Fully. And I mean, it's only going to sell more toys.
Right.
Oh, that's what it's
Very
for.
true.
That's
Like,
what it's for.
that's-
Do you got another one on there?
Yeah. So the last one I don't think you've seen a trailer for it yet, but I wanted to bring up Mortal Kombat 2
Oh.
and see how you felt about Carl Urban being Johnny Cage.
The problem with
didn't
Carl,
see that.
The problem with Carl Urban being Johnny Cage is that Carl Urban is an old actor now. So
Yeah.
it's obviously Johnny Cage in his retirement phase, not new Johnny Cage. I will say Carl Urban can have like some funny moments, but he's always had his accent. So I don't know what he's going to have in this.
He does
yeah.
a fine American accent.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
All
mean,
right.
honestly, like, I have a hard time with that casting. I didn't know about that. I just Googled it. I love Carl Urban. The Boys is one of my favorite shows. I love him. Him as Johnny Cage, I'm kind of meh on.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, he's a great actor, so hopefully he can pull it off. But I'm just excited to get more Mortal Kombat.
I loved everything about the first movie.
Yeah.
aside from the unique character Cole that they created that just had absorbing powers with gauntlets or whatever it was, out of nowhere. No connection to other characters, no connection to previous stories. It was just like their own made up thing in the world. And I was like, why? There's so much character and so much lore in Mortal Kombat. Why have to make a new character? So
Yeah.
to me, sorry guys, I'm fighting a cold. To me, it is literally the Resident Evil Alice thing all over again, where they like made a new character to live in the Resident Evil world, and then she just ended up working. So maybe Cole won't be that bad of a character in the second one. Maybe the new Mortal Kombat games will showcase him, but I'm curious. I'm curious which way they're going to go, because I think there was a lot of characters you did not get to meet in the first Mortal Kombat. Yes. Not counting the greatest movie of all time in 1997, Mortal Kombat, the original.
Mortal Kombat. I honestly, I mean, I really loved the first one. Like the first one of these newer set of them. Yeah. Obviously there's stuff that I didn't love about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like a action martial arts movie.
Yeah.
And as long as it's done well, I'll watch that shit all the time.
I agree. Yep.
I hope it's just done well.
Well, the first one, if I'm not mistaken, is literally the Scorpion Sub-Zero story. Like that's basically what it was. So, and I like how they portray Scorpion as like a father who like had his family taken from him, and so it's like a revenge story for him, and how Sub-Zero was truly like an ultimate bad guy. So I think a lot of that stuff played out really well, really well. I am curious though, like, are we going to get a lot more Shao Kahn? Are we going to get more like Shang-Chi? Not Shang-Chi. That's Marvel. Quan Chi, the sorcerer. Like, I wonder which way they're going to go. I am curious. But I'm down for it. I don't know when that one comes out. I don't even know.
October.
Oh, okay.
It's away.
It's away.
We got plenty of time to watch the first one again.
Yeah.
They definitely have the cast announced.
Oh,
So-
okay. Well, I'll be looking at
But
that.
I mean, it's everybody you would expect to be in a Mortal Kombat movie. So I don't know what looking it up gave me.
Dude.
Like, it didn't give me any insight.
One of my favorite characters was Kano in that film. He was freaking funny.
I loved Kano.
Yeah. Was that it?
That's it. It's just
Heck
those.
yeah.
Just those.
Heck yeah. All right. Give me 3 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Listen, I don't have a segment for this, okay? But wait, yes, I do. Right. Wait, no, I don't.
No, you don't.
Okay, no, I don't.
You mean an intro?
I mean an intro.
No intro.
I
was your intro. 3, 2, 1.
Fight. So this is a segment we've done a couple times, which means we need an intro for it, because I think people have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. This is the 10 movies that I've seen from a particular actor, and I'm gonna go this week with my man crush,
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. No, I'm just kidding. Jason Statham. So we've done.
Oh, I thought we were really talking Steve Buscemi.
Oh,
I was here for it.
I want no. I want to do Steve Buscemi, but there's a lot that we have not seen. I promise you.
I
He's
love
To
done-
be honest, Andy was gonna do Steve Buscemi, and then he started to think about it. And
Okay,
was
I
like,
was gonna say
Okay.
I thought
No.
I saw it said Steve Buscemi.
Okay, no.
Well, now it says not Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi has done nothing but animated movies the last 10 years of his career.
Well, can you blame him?
And I, with a face like that, I think the problem is that I've never seen any of those. I need to catch up, and then we'll do Steve Buscemi. So I'm going Jason Statham, okay, ladies? And the reason I'm going Jason Statham is because I feel like we were talking about eras in the beginning of this episode, like, are we the greatest generation? This guy was like, this is like my 2000s until like 2015 era actor. Like, I feel like he was in everything. He was, you'd see a Jason Statham movie or some type of role that he was playing. You're like, yep, that fits him. That makes sense. You know, here it is. And it was kind of like the boom of like the action sensationalism movies. Like that stuff was
Yeah.
happening back then. But
Like
I'm going to
Fast and
start.
Furious.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Oh God. Fast and Furious.
Lincoln
One
asked
of,
me the other day,
one of
Mom,
many.
when will I be old enough to watch the Fast and the
Aw.
Furious? And I was like, I don't know.
When
I don't
you
think
can
they're that bad
accept
anymore,
Paul
like-
Walker's death, son. That's what you have to say. So let's
I was
start.
like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Let's start with Jason Statham's early career. Have you guys seen Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Yes.
Okay. Guy Ritchie movie. Basically like con men. And they are trying to get out of like the streets of selling bad goods, and there's many characters that are through this thing. This is kind of Guy Ritchie's like gangster London star. Like that is his kind of like aura. That's stuff that Guy Ritchie's done for a long time. But this is where I first saw Jason Statham's character, and I thought that he had a really good he has like good timing, like with his comedic cadence. It wasn't so much action with this first film, right? Having like an ensemble kind of gangster thing go down. But then right after that movie, that one was in 1998. So in 2000 was Snatch. And Snatch was literally kind of the same thing. So instead of being like jewelry hawkers, now he's like a boxing promoter that tries to get Brad Pitt's character
I was gonna say, was that with Brad Pitt
involved in it while they're having to deal with this diamond like
All
heist.
Guy
So-
Ritchie movies, especially in the early 2000s, are a group of guys that are
Yeah,
questionable.
yes.
South London,
Yeah.
and they're involved in hijinks they don't want to be involved in.
Right. Yes. I think the thing with Jason Statham in this one is he's pretty mild as a character in Snatch. Brad Pitt's character, though, you cannot understand a word he's freaking saying. He's like supposed to be like Irish, like an Irish gypsy or something
Yeah,
like that.
but instead he
fighter.
sounds like Boomhauer from King of the
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah. Yes. And I remember that movie just kind of sticking with me, but Jason Statham was like very recognizable, right? He wasn't fully bald yet. He still had a little bit of hair in those movies. Then the next movie that I remember him from was, oh God, ladies. I'm going to say Ice Cube. Can you tell me what I'm talking about?
Triple X.
No.
Oh,
No.
ew.
That's Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah.
Ice Cube was in a movie called Ghost of Mars. Did you?
I've
Oh,
never
I don't
that?
think I've ever seen that.
Okay. So Ghosts of Mars is John Carpenter, like the Halloween John Carpenter director. Imagine Hard Rock 2000 soundtrack where these like Mars
Generic
Yes.
Party City.
yes, Mars police officers have to go and like rile up possessed inmates in like on Mars, and Ice Cube stars, and then Jason Statham is like a sergeant, like a lieutenant or something like that. It's very skippable, but it's one of those things where you're like, okay. So he's shown like the London gruff stuff. Now he's like shown that he can use guns and like armor and stuff. And so he's starting, the typecast is starting, right? On who Jason Statham's supposed to play. But if you watch this movie, it is balls to the wall ridiculous. Like these inmates are all crazy looking. There is so much gunfire and terrible like 2000s rock music the entire time. And the fact that John Carpenter directed this was absolutely crazy. But this was one that I remember Jason Statham in. So
I've never seen it, but I remember when we were at Blockbuster, I'd always be like, I need to watch this. It looks weird. I need to watch this. It looks weird.
Yeah.
I've never watched it, so I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to see this one. Mainly just
I
because
love-
Ice
I
Cube
love,
has so many
like,
one-liners.
Shitty
Like,
horror movies,
dude,
like
Ice Cube's like ripped off sleeves, throwing Molotovs, like
and that
he's-
like pissed off face the whole time. Like
yes.
love it.
Then the next one is no pun intended, The One with Jet Li.
Oh girl, I
and
used to love that
Jason
movie.
Statham. So this one came out in 2001. This is directed by James Wong, the same guy that did Final Destination. Okay. So The One, if you guys aren't familiar, Jet Li's character plays a psycho killer martial artist who goes across the multiverse killing versions of himself, and each time he kills one, he gets stronger until he's only the one.
It's martial arts Highlander.
It is martial. Yes, there can only be one.
Yes.
Funny enough, Jason Statham character is a time cop that is sent to take down Lee, like the evil Lee, but really his character is just there for like comedic relief with Jet Li's good guy character.
Yeah, he pretty
Yes.
much exists to be like the random explanation guy.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Like, I don't understand. How can you do that? Well, you see. Like,
yes. Though there's a
he
scene
was
where he
that
goes,
guy.
I can take down the one. I made my own custom firearm. And
Yeah.
Jet Li's good guy character's like, but I can kill him with a kick now because I'm strong just like he is. And then there's like a little funny bit, like whatever. So the point is though, is that Jason Statham, he's like playing these like off roles. Like he's not really the main guy yet, but he's like playing all these roles that are like starting to turn him into the Jason Statham that we know. And then he does Transporter.
So good.
I loved the Transporter.
Right? The Transporter. It is directed by Louis Letellier. He's the same one that did The Incredible Hulk and Unleashed with Jet Li. If you guys ever saw Unleashed, where he's like has a dog chain
I remember
Yeah.
the premise but
on
yeah, I
it.
never
It's
saw it.
Mario. What's that guy's? What's that? The guy that played Mario in the original Mario
Bob
movie.
Hoskins.
Yes, it was Bob Hoskins, and he has like
Yeah.
a chain around his neck. And when he lets it go, Jet Li's character goes wild. So
He's
anyway,
like a fighter or something.
he did this one. Luc Besson, who did The Professional, he wrote it. So it's like the Transporter had like all these awesome people involved in the creation of it. But this is the first time that Jason Statham is like the guy. Like,
Honestly,
yes.
I really liked the Transporter because it was very different for the action movies that it came out with. But this movie was interesting. He did talk, but he didn't have these huge monologue scenes in this movie.
Nope. I remember he still had his English accent the entire time. And the story is pretty simple. He is a transporter. You're never supposed to look at the package. You just take it from A to B. And he hears noises from the trunk. He opens it up. It's a beautiful lady that he falls in love with. Now he wants to protect her. And then you realize real quick that he's more than just a driver. He's also like a special agent from his past. And that
Yeah.
he can just kick ass. But Jason Statham at this point was not the ripped Jason Statham that we know. Like that first role that he was in, he was fit, but he wasn't like jacked, bald Statham.
But I
Yeah.
would say that this movie pushed him to being like a name that people knew.
Yeah.
Yep. This
'Cause
also
honestly,
made me fall in love.
I saw Lock, Stock, and Snatch, and maybe
Yeah.
I didn't see them until after, but I feel like Transporter was the first time I knew of Jason Statham.
Right, because his presence on screen was very much like, there's something about this guy.
Yeah.
I like this guy. And I remember for a lot of people, Transporter was it. Also, this started him into like being the car guy as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So it wasn't just action guy now. Now it's action car guy. And he immediately did Italian Job right after Transporter. An Italian Job was 2003, I think. And Transporter was 2002. So they were like back to back on that part of it. But I remember in Transporter, this was like the movie that made me think cars were cool as well. Because he's driving, I think, a BMW is the first one. I don't know if it's an i3 or what, but I remember looking at it and being like, this is rad. Like
In Transporter?
and Transporter.
Yeah, in Transporter, he drives BMW. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
well,
sure.
for the first one.
Yeah.
Second and third one, I think he's in an Audi. I think. I'm trying to remember. But after that, he does a very unique movie with Chris Evans. Do you remember what it's called? He actually plays the
No.
bad guy in this one.
With Chris Evans?
Yes.
I don't remember.
It was in 2004, and it was called Cellular.
Nope, never saw it.
You never saw Cellular?
No, man.
Oh, that was a good movie.
So Jason Statham is basically holding Kim Basinger for ransom. And the only way she's able to make a call out is this broken phone that somehow connects to a random cell phone. And that cell phone is Chris Evans' cell phone. He just buys a brand new phone and somehow the number is connected and he keeps her on the line the entire time till he can save her. But it made Jason Statham be able to kind of push his role a little bit more. It's like, can he be a bad guy now? We've seen him as a good guy.
Okay.
Can he play the bad guy role? And that's where he gets like the mean, like the angry Jason Statham that we know. That's where you get a lot of that from.
Well, and I feel like that movie came out. There was a couple movies right around the same time that there was that one. And then there was a phone booth.
Yes, phone booth. Same
Yeah.
Like,
thing.
I feel like they were all the same idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was directed, by the way, Cellular, same guy that did Snakes on a Plane. So it kind of has that, I don't know, far-fetched type of deal
Crisis
going on.
mode.
But also cell phones were like starting. That's when we were getting like the candy bar phones and the flip phones and the crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
phones were like a big deal in 2004. I remember
Oh, yeah,
that.
they were.
Oh yeah.
This after these movies, this is when he breaks out into the role that most people knew him for. If you didn't see Transporter, do you remember what it was? Balls to the wall, batshit fucking crazy.
Oh, Crank.
Crank.
Jeff
Yes. Jeff Chelios.
Crank was fantastic.
Crank.
The
was
first one is
The first,
so good.
the first. Let me. Yes, the first one.
the first one. So Crank's 2006. It was directed by a combo pair. These are the same guys that did Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and then Gamer with
Gerard Butler.
Yes, right.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of their
That was
vibe.
so weird.
But Brian Taylor, one of the two directors, he directed the newest Hellboy from 2024, which is apparently ass. I have not seen
I haven't
it,
seen
but
it. I have not
heard
brought
it's-
myself to watch it yet. I know I will at some
Yes,
point.
Yes,
but
it's the Hellboy prequel. I think it's supposed to be like early Hellboy.
Even the still images I've seen, I'm like, this movie looks awful.
so sorry to Brian for doing ass stuff now in 2024, but 2006 Crank was incredible. Not only was this Jason Statham, and this is when he had done the body transformation, he was like super jacked.
yeah.
Yeah, he was jacked.
Right? He is a hitman that ends up basically having a double cross put on him. They give him a cocktail. It's called the Beijing cocktail that kills your heart within an hour. And the only way to survive is to keep adrenaline pumping through your blood. And he just is the craziest character through that entire film. I remember some of the craziest scenes. Amy Smart is in this film. They like have sex in public to keep his heart going. He shocks himself with a defibrillator. Oh my God.
It's called defib.
A defib.
Yep.
Like it's funny. It has like super comedic moments. The action's incredible. He's wild. It is awesome.
I think it was just totally
film-
unexpected. Like the whole thing is just like a dopamine trip. Like
Oh,
It's
the
fully.
It's just
And it
nonstop.
also, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
yes.
Mhm.
It knows it's out of control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But these guys, those directors, were like, you know what? Let's go crazier. And then they did Crank 2,
Dude, that
and
was
that was like,
it was
oh.
too much.
That one is where he had to shock himself.
That's where he
instead
put
of,
like jumper
The
cables
car
on
battery.
his nipples. Like,
yeah, yes, that one got really wild. And there's like a scene where he's like gone psycho, and like it's like acid trip psycho. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was.
It's like they used up all their ideas in the first one, and then they're like,
Mhm.
"What else can we pull out of our
There's-
ass?"
because
it's-
Spirit
no,
of Vengeance
so-
is crazy too. The Ghost Rider.
There's
one.
a scene in the second one where now all of a sudden he's like, him and the guy he's chasing are like Power Rangers villains, like over this tiny city, and they're
Yeah.
stomping through it.
Yes,
it made
you're right.
no sense.
No, it got really goofy. So ladies, we are on 2007. Do you guys know a movie where a
In
sorcerer?
the name of the king.
You
Only
mean where
the
he wears
best
sweatpants?
Ray Liotta
Dude,
movie
yes.
next to Field of Dreams.
Yes, dude. So it's Jason Statham plays this like little blacksmith boy in black sweatpants and like a torn up shirt like a peasant, and he goes and fights Ray Liotta's sorcerer in a leather coat in the medieval ages. I didn't go deep on reviewing this movie again because I remember we were all like, "Oh God, Jason Statham, what have you done? This is
I so desperately want to
I
watch it
forgot
again,
Burt
though.
Reynolds was in this.
You forgot who?
Burt Reynolds.
Oh, Burt Reynolds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Jason Statham to this point, the guy is just like killing it. The movies are getting good, and then this shit happens in 2007.
Well, sometimes they make movies and then they don't release them right away, and they wait until the names get bigger.
It's possible that happened. After this, he starts to go El Generico. He does War with Jet Li again, where now they're just facing each other. He does The Bank Job, which goes back to a London heist type of movie again. And I'm just kind of like, okay, so he's just kind of just going to settle into this role.
Yeah, I feel like he did a lot of movies after that where he's like hanging off the side of a building.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. He did my and Andy's favorite, Death Race.
That's what I was about to say.
Dude,
that's what I was about to say. In 2008, Paul Wes Anderson, he did the Resident Evil, Three Musketeers. It's convicted drivers that go on national TV to try to set their freedom up. He plays a character called Jensen Ames, who's wrongly convicted, and he ends up taking over the moniker of Frankenstein, which is like this super cool, souped up. Is it a Mustang? I think is what he drives.
I think so.
And dude, that movie, man, if you could put into like a bucket everything that is like pure masculinity, that's what that
wanting to be
that movie. That movie, I think, hit so many dudes like in 2008, where they're just like guns and cars and sex. If I
could imagine the person that like the years 2007 to 2009 were, it's Death Race.
Yeah, that's true. I will tell you though,
it's so good though. It's such a good movie.
I think that was one of the last pure great films that he did though.
That's a bummer.
Because after this, he had that 10-year span where he was killing it, and then he comes in and in 2010 does The Expendables. So I'm not saying Expendables is bad. It's not. But they've done 1, 2, 3, and 4, and he's been part of this from 2010 to 2023.
Yeah, so, I feel like now he's just in his era of making sequels to movies he's already done.
Yes.
Because he started doing the Mechanic movies.
Yep.
He's made a bunch of those. He did all the Expendables. Now he's in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yes, and doing his own spin-off series off of that too. Expendables, he plays like a pilot and the best friend of Sylvester Stallone. It has every action star you could think of. So he's kind of like lost in the mix of all of that. That was, again, 2010 was the first one. Then he doesn't make his debut, though, in the Fast and Furious movies until Furious 7 in 2015. So that's when you actually see him. He plays as Deckard Shaw, the brother of somebody that the crew kills, and now he wants revenge. This was directed by James Wan, the same guy that did Saw, The Conjuring, and Insidious. So known for horror movies and the Fast and Furious franchise, which is kind of interesting.
That's wild.
I will say, though, he plays good as Deckard Shaw. Like, I enjoy his character.
Yeah.
That way, I didn't hate Hobbs and Shaw in 2019. I know some people were like, they thought it was really over the top or stupid.
It was stupid.
It was too much.
It was supposed to be a buddy.
I watched it.
A buddy cop comedy almost without the cops.
But it was another one of those they tried to throw too much at the wall. Like,
yes.
It was a buddy comedy, but then it was also an action, but then it was also a drama, but then it was all like.
So
it was just too much.
I've skimmed over, right? Because it's supposed to be like 10 movies that
that's more than 10.
Made it. But I skimmed over stuff like The Revolver, which was another Guy Ritchie movie.
That is a good one, though.
Yeah, right. That was a good one. There was other movies in there, like The Beekeeper is the one he just recently did in 2024. But that's, again, another one where he's like revenge for someone that died.
There's 2 Jason Statham movies that I actually really enjoy that you have not talked about yet.
Okay, so number 1, do you want me to talk about The Meg?
Yeah. That's
Okay. So funny thing about The Meg, okay, 2018 and then 2023 was The Meg 2. He won his very first Razzie for Worst Actor.
Oh, they're not good
for
movies.
The Meg 2. And so I feel bad for Jason Statham. Do you know that he's never won an Academy Award of any kind except for his nomination? Well, he won Worst Actor Razzie. but his nomination was only for Best Actor in a Comedy with Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
See, that's the other movie I was going
Yes,
to talk about. I
yes.
actually liked him in that.
That was not a bad movie. In fact, because
No.
he was nominated, that's why it was good. And she was in her heyday in 2016. Like that
That
was like,
movie, it's
her
not one that I
jam.
would rewatch all the time, but it was fun.
yeah, I agree with you. I remember thinking that one, like, they worked well together.
Yeah, I like him. I like when he uses a little bit of humor.
Yeah.
So not to skim over the Meg, but the Meg is basically a giant megalodon, like
Yes,
huge
it is.
shark, and here's
Here's what I'll say, listeners, if you are a fan of the Jaws sequels, if you are a fan of Deep Blue Sea with Samuel L. Jackson and LL Cool
Yes.
J, you will enjoy the Meg.
Well, what's funny about the Meg is, do you know what Jason Statham was before he was an actor?
He wasn't a professional
He's a
diver
professional
or something.
diver. So whenever he
Yeah.
does these sea movies or whatever, that's like his wheelhouse. Like he knows how to swim.
I think they have him as like a scientist or something.
in this one, yeah, scientist who fights a shark.
Yeah. And then in the second, have you seen the second one yet?
No, not yet.
They release more creatures from the
Oh
deep.
dear Lord!
And there's like crazy octopus and all these
Oh,
crazy fucking
God.
things. You got to watch it. And like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a number of drinking games with these movies. They are just
Yes.
so outrageous. The second one was like, hey, remember that movie about one shark that like we let out and killed a bunch of people? They're like, yeah. They're like, hey, what if we didn't do any of that and just did something else entirely? And they were like, let's do it.
Well, Jason Statham has graced us for around 25 years, not counting some shorts and other thing that he's done. But I will say he's in his Nicolas Cage, Bruce Willis phase.
Okay, I will say, looking
yeah.
at his IMDb, he is very consistent with
Yeah.
the rating of his movies.
It's like 6.
Like the first couple, like
Yeah.
Snatch and Lock, Stock, those are like in the 8s. Literally
Yep.
every movie is like 6 point something.
Yeah.
You want to know what his worst movie ever was?
What?
In the Name of the King.
Oh, I knew. I
Oh.
should have known it. I
Three
should have known
Surprise,
it.
surprise.
That's Uwe Boll right there, dude. That's
Oof.
bad. He did.
We should do a whole episode about Yui Bowl.
Oh God, some of those movies would be fun to shit on. Jason Statham did win though Teen Choice Award for the best villain in Fast and Furious. So at least
Oh,
he's gotten like a little bit of praise.
I'm not surprised he hasn't won Academy Awards. Like, I think he's very likable, but he does what he does. And he's
Yeah.
not like, giving a variety of roles and like, you see like his acting prowess because he can do all sorts of different things. Like he is what he is.
Well, he is moving though into his like Clooney phase of like age. So there's no more crazy action probably soon in his career. Because how old is he? 50,
He's late 50s.
right? Like Jason Statham's 55,
He's
56.
born in 67.
Oh my
Do the
God.
math.
So he will be 60.
57.
He will be 60 in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Dang. That's what I'm saying, dude. You can't be an action star for that long. So I think we enjoyed what we did out of like the prime of Jason Statham. I'm interested because I think he can still play the boss, the crime boss, the London Underground stuff still. He probably can do the Denzel Washington style action star that you're not.
He'll be Harrison Ford jumping
Yeah,
off
that's
wooden
true.
crates.
This belongs in a museum.
I could see him almost going like Vincent D'Onofrio,
I
where he
can see
becomes like the
that.
fancy bad guy.
Yeah, I can see that too. That'd be good. No shame. I still love Jason Statham. I have not given him the respect of watching the last 10 years of his career much, I don't think. Aside from maybe the Meg, I'm trying to think of the last one that I really was like, okay, Jason Statham's a big name. Here he is in that stuff. I don't know. He has 3 projects coming out here soon, but I guess we'll find out. There's another Fast and Furious, right? So
Yeah.
that's what he's been working on this last time.
Keep him coming.
You a Jason Statham fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is all for the Jason
All right.
Statham. Ashley,
Yeah.
can you lead us out with some words of wisdom today?
Yeah. This one's longer because you guys always complain about how short my tips
Oh,
are. So
all right. Well, I'm strapped in.
Here we go. We all know how important it is for all of us to feel happiness. And I just want you to know that you only have to remember these 4 C's that lead to happiness and the 3 A's of happiness, but also the 5 P's of happiness and the 5 pillars of happiness. Do you want to know what they are?
Oh my God, there's more?
Yes.
Well, I didn't tell you what they were. If you want to be happy, work on connection, contribution, coping, and cooking, but also acceptance, affection, achievement, positivity, peace, passion, perseverance, prosperity, positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning,
Oh my God.
and accomplishments. That's all you have to do. It's that simple, guys. You
So
too can be
simple.
happy.
That makes me unhappy to know how many things I need to do to be happy.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I like zoned out when you started listing all those things, so I couldn't tell you one of them.
That's too much. You know what? Just be happy.
Just be.
Yeah, what's so
Yeah.
hard? Just be happy.
Just be happy.
Don't
Do
have
it.
anxiety. Just
Just
don't.
do it.
Don't worry
Jeez.
about it.
Guys,
You have depression? No, you don't. Just be happy.
No, you don't.
you have officially been Stathamed. You've officially been given good advice, and there was some good news today. I hope you guys see the movies that we talked about. I hope you're jacked about them.
Jacked like Statham.
Yes, good segue. Amanda, where can people say libbity doobity dobbity day?
Okay. So we have links to all of our socials in the descriptions of the episodes. And you can also head over to our Instagram at Roll Awkward Podcast, and we have links over there as well.
Oh, snappity pappity.
Barbara Brown.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Yep. Okay, bye.